Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse. We're getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot. Good to see you back, Gert, Jan, Tenhove. Hi there. Welcome back. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We got a lot of charts to go through again, right? We're going to try to take this about 30 to 40 minutes. Try to rock and roll through it as fast as we can, but also get into the details and stuff like that. So also, I have covered Bitcoin on yesterday's live stream, and I covered Bitcoin on the Bitcoin update video. So if you want to take a 14-minute dive, we talked about higher time frames are still bullish, but the lower 4-hour chart was looking bearish, had bearish divergence and all that stuff. So if you want to take a deeper dive on Bitcoin over there, go check out that video and we'll take a look at it. Someone was asking me about the Wall Street cheat sheet over there in the Discord. So sent that over to them in the Discord. Anyways, Bitcoin down 1.67% today. Doesn't look like much on the daily chart. And you can see that price is getting overbought sometimes when the magic happens. And there's some bearish divergence, right? So this right here, there's some bearish divergence with the RSI, right? You can see here there's a peak, and then there's a lower high with a slightly higher high daily candle close. So bearish divergence could signal a trend reversal. And so we'll continue to watch it over there. But we're watching it on the lower time frames as well, right? So we were watching it on this 4-hour chart that we called out. It was getting overbought on the 4-hour chart. There is bearish divergence, and the indicator is picking it up, right? The indicator on the Sharp Shooter RSI 2.0 is picking up bearish divergence going back from February 9th all the way to February 18th. And then you could even see that the indicator is not picking it up, but because these are lower highs, right? So you've got bearish divergence getting picked all the way up. You can see the red line, right? And then a slightly lower high, and then another sell signal, and price comes back down and retests target 1. So you can see it came back, retested that target 1 and double wick, right? So we'll see if that's it or not. We'll see if that's it for the correction, see if there's only 1 out of the 4 targets that actually get hit, but it's still currently bearish right now. And so let's put on those shorter term targets. And like I said, you can do a deeper dive or talk more about it or see more about it, me talking about it more on the higher time frames. So I put out that video with shorter, midterm, and longer term price targets over there. So definitely go check it out. I also posted it in the free newsletter on Monday. So I did a little bit of a longer write-up over there on the newsletter. And of course, I've been posting it daily with all the details in the Discord. So if you want more, come join us in the Discord. And I post charts pretty much daily, right? I've posted thousands of charts, more than thousands, probably closing in on, 7,000-8,000 charts over the last, we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. Our 2-year anniversary is going to be probably, I think it's next week. So we started like the last week of February 2022. And then, so anyways, almost a 2-year anniversary. And, Bitcoin is bearish on the 4-hour chart. There is bearish divergence on the daily chart. There is bearish divergence on the 8-hour chart, right? So the 8-hour chart, you can see the indicator was picking it up back here as well. And it's not picking it up here or here. So it should be picking it up here or there. So if I change the inputs on the Sharpshooter RSI 2.0, most likely it's going to pick up the bearish divergence there as well, just like it did on the 4-hour chart. So with that, that's pretty much all we got right there on Bitcoin. Is you had this pivot low back here in end of January at 38,500. Since then, it's been on a massive run up, and it was over. I covered it yesterday, right? Almost 38%, 37.5% from wick to wick. what a move it was. Back here from this wick, there's a reversal candle, a higher low, then the buy signals, right? And then price is starting to get overbought. There's bearish divergence. Corrections are healthy. If it just if price just continues to go straight up, usually ends badly, and there's a bigger correction, and it's fast, and so you want it to you want price to kind of like take the stairs up, right? Come back down, build the stairs up, and then continue onward upward. So that's Bitcoin 8-hour chart. Still no sell signal on the 8-hour chart on this exchange. If we look at the other exchange, nope, still no sell signal. But on the 4-hour chart, there was a sell signal that was earlier, right? So that's Bitcoin. Ethereum, let's jump back over to the daily chart. Let's take a look at some of these crypto assets, right? Overbought, kind of letting the trending dots catch up. Let's see. No bearish divergence on Ethereum, though. So a little bit different on the daily chart. No bearish divergence. Solana has a pending sell signal. Remember, one of the things I talked about and I've been covering in the Discord a lot, and even on the live streams and stuff, that some of the crypto assets, in my opinion, had bearish divergence and it was cleared. And some of the crypto assets that had longer term bearish divergence has not been cleared, right? So something to keep in mind. Doesn't mean it will be fully cleared. If anything was 100% guaranteed, we'd be billionaires by now, right? But nothing's 100% guaranteed, right? So going all the way back to September 2023, there is bearish divergence, and this could be a lower high, right? This is a reverse candle, another lower high, and now price is breaking down from this trend line with a pending sell signal. So we will see if it comes back down lower prices. These targets are longer term targets. It's hit 3 of the 4 longer term targets. Remember, Bitcoin went above the 4th longer term target, whereas Solana just came up a little bit short at 126, right? So it just came up short, never hit it. And so we could see a bigger correction here, but also, the higher time frames are bullish, right? So when the higher time frames are bullish, you can see kind of just letting the trendy dots catch up. Is that possible? Possible double top, right? Bearish divergence, slight bearish divergence on the weekly chart. So something to pay attention to, that it's possible prices do come back down. There are several reasons why, whether it's the weekly chart or the daily chart, several reasons why Solana could come back down to like the $65 range or below $70, but it's too early to say. It's still just a pending sell signal right now. And of course, the weekly chart has not closed, right? If you look at the weekly chart here, though, you can see that this candle close here, it wasn't bearish divergence. It's a slightly lower high, right? So you've got a high here at 112.58 and then a slightly lower high at 112.30 cents. So possible slightly lower high on Solana weekly chart. The daily chart has a more clear defined lower high compared to over here. So we'll continue to monitor Solana over there. DOT down 4%, right? Again, another one that had bearish divergence that I felt like wasn't cleared. It was very close, right? It was very close to getting cleared, but another one that's possibly not cleared. And is this another lower high, right? You've got a lower high, you've got a lower high, you've got a lower high on DOT, right? So it's too early to say. You start getting candle closes back below the trending dots, right? Below the upward trend line. It has not yet. It's still bullish. And if you start to get a sell signal or a pending sell signal back below the trending dots, the upper trend line, et cetera, then this could be a possible lower high. As of right now, it's still holding right now, barely, right? Barely. Cardano, similar thoughts, right? The only difference is on Cardano is that, in my opinion, the bearish divergence was cleared, right? Still could be a possible lower high. You got a high, possible lower high, reversal candle. Trending dots are still holding on, still bullish on the daily chart, et cetera, et cetera. Sand down 5.5% today. One of the ones that already cleared the bearish divergence. Doesn't mean this couldn't be a lower high and price goes lower. But it is one of the crypto assets, in my opinion, that has cleared the bearish divergence. So we will see how it plays out. Near one of the ones that has not cleared bearish divergence, in my opinion. So you get the point, right? We're going to switch over. Let's see. Will Bitcoin follow a recession on the stock markets or just the opposite? Well, like we always say, Gert Jan, it's always a good question though. But what we always say is if you're trading and investing Bitcoin, you follow the trading, you follow the charts first and foremost of Bitcoin. That's number one. Always trade the charts, right? For example, ANF, right? ANF going all the way back to the weekly chart. While there were some corrections going on, right? While there were some corrections going on, after this buy signal on the weekly chart here, price has just gone parabolic, right? So no matter what any other stock or no matter what any other indice or NASDAQ or SP 500 going through a correction or NVIDIA going through a correction when it was consolidating over here, no matter if other assets were, continuing to break down, Abercrombie and Fitch chart went parabolic, right? So trade the chart in front of you first and foremost, right? So the opposite of that is, natural gas is up 12% today, but the opposite of that is while ANF is pumping, right? You got natural gas that's just putting in lower lows, right? So putting in lower lows. So you got to trade the chart in front of you first and foremost. So that's all I'm going to say. Whether it's recession talks, whatever, there are a lot of reasons why we could see the housing go through correction. There are many reasons why we could see with higher rates and stuff, we could see a bigger correction on the NASDAQ, stuff like that. But we're gonna take it level by level, and we're going to trade the chart in front of us first and foremost, because as we just proved it once again that a certain asset can go literally parabolic for no other reason other than people trading the charts and bigger players pushing money into it for whatever reason, right? So that's where we're going to go. Shooter, by the way, longtime market sniper. Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. Let's jump back into it. Speaking of the NASDAQ, let's jump over to the NASDAQ. And this is a weekly chart. You can see it's still above the trending dots, but it got pretty far extended away. So it could be coming back for that. One thing to point out, there is longer-term bearish divergence, right? There is longer-term bearish divergence going back to like June 2023. It's possible it continues with additional bearish divergence. There are the ANF targets up here, but we will see, right? The daily chart is looking like correction is overdue, right? We've been talking about this since October 26th, that pivot low. There's been bearish divergence on the daily chart as well. It's been overbought in certain cases, sometimes when the magic happens and it continues to pump up. We talked about this on the live stream. We talked about it in the Discord. We talked about it. We talked about it everywhere, right? This is a possible lower high, right? This candle was starting to look very bearish, right? If you take off the indicator just for a second, that's a bearish looking candle. Another breakdown from this upward trend line over here. And now we have a pending sell signal, right? So we put out these targets the other day. We've been talking about it in the Discord with the exact details over there. And so here are the price targets. The probabilities continue to increase. That target one's going to get hit. And then we'll see about target 2, target 3, target 4 after that, right? So, we'll take it step by step, level by level. But the targets have been mapped out, and with the pending sell signal, if we get a sell signal over here on the daily chart, doesn't mean it couldn't pump all the way back up, put in another lower high, and then come back down, or even come down, hit target 1 like we've seen many times in the past, put it at a lower high, and then continue down after that. So it just takes time to play out. You can see that, a lot of the pattern traders will like to say, hey, this is a possible future, head and shoulders, right? So, and then of course they'll be drawing out the necklines and all that stuff, and then doing their measurements and all that stuff. And they'll be kind of late to the party, but we've been covering it with the bearish divergence, prices being overbought, sneaky lower high confirmed with this candle close yesterday. We talked about it yesterday, and of course, comes back down like this, possibly takes out this pivot low over here, hits target 1, bounces back up, puts in a lower high, and then we've got the pattern traders out there who are calling for, possible head and shoulders, and then put out their price targets after that. So better late than never, right? Better late than never. And of course, it's always possible that you don't get that lower shoulder for a while, and then it just comes straight down, and then the price traders are behind the 8 ball, right? So with that, let's see. That's the NASDAQ is a pending sell signal, is breaking down, already confirmed this lower high by taking out this pivot over here, in my personal opinion. And that's the NASDAQ down 0.79%, down 0.8% now, down 0.79% now. It changes nonstop, right? So this is SP 500. You've got that pivot low. Again, it was 1 day after the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ kind of led the way by 1 day. You've got, prices oversold. Then you had a reversal candle, and then it pumped up after that. Again, bearish divergence. You can see the indicators picking up bearish divergence going back from December 19th all the way to February 9th. And if I change the input settings, it's possible that it's also picking up additional bearish divergence here. No lower high like the NASDAQ yet, but it is breaking down from this upward trend line. There's an RSI sell signal after the bearish divergence. So seems like the retracement is going to be on for the SP 500 as well. Just could be lagging time wise. As you can see, this is a higher high, while RSI put in a lower high, right? So that's SP 500. Dow Jones got this little tiny gap over here at 36,200. I'm sure there's bearish divergence, looking like a possible sneaky lower high over here. Looking at it, bearish divergence picking up to there, additional bearish divergence there, sneaky lower high over here, RSI sell signal on the Dow Jones. So that's what we're looking at. Russell 2000, bearish divergence back there, right? Bearish divergence. Indicators should not be picking up bearish divergence over here. Should just be picking it up over to December 27th, right? And this would be a lower high over here. Price breaking down from the upward trend line. Dollar flat today, still bullish. 10-year yield is bullish, up 0.5%. It's at 4.3%. Look like it's coming into the third out of 4 shorter term targets. Don't forget there's this longer term target up here that was never hit, above 5%. It got very close. It's bullish on the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart is bullish. So it is bullish on rates. It's not great for corporations. It's not good for the mortgage industry, right? The mortgage interest rates follow the 10-year treasury very closely, direction-wise. So if the U.S. 10-year yield is up, right? If this was a bottom, if this was a higher low, rates are higher compared to the beginning of 2024, right? So beginning of 2024, here we are a month later, and interest rates are higher on mortgage rates, right? So and also on corporate debt, right? So it's not good for corporations who are leveraged. I think I saw like a chart, not to get too far off topic, but looks like I saw a chart. It's lagging. It's like a monthly or a 3-month chart where potential bankruptcies are on the rise. But like I said, it's a very lagging chart. So I don't post it, but we will see. 10-year yield, VIX up 2%, still bullish. Remember, we talked about how it retested the 200-week moving average. Will the VIX retest it again? That'd be pretty crazy. It's possible if it's retesting 200-week moving average. We're getting quite a bit bigger correction on the NASDAQ and some of these other stocks. and possibly even crypto, right? So we'll continue to watch it, see if it's going to spike up. It's been putting in higher highs. It's been putting in higher lows. And this was the low. We've been talking about it. It hit 3 of the 4 targets so far on the VIX. So it's the volatility of the S&P 500. So we're continuing to monitor it over there. Let's flip over the Magnificent 7. Let's take a look at it over here. While we switch over, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Help me, help you, help me. And we'll continue to keep snipering the markets together. So let's do that. NVIDIA down almost 4%, right? I put out these targets already. This is this upward trend line is based off the weekly chart. You can see that even from here, you've got a breakdown, candle close below the trending dots, below the upward trend line. It went very vertical. Indicator is not picking it up, but it should be picking up if I change the inputs. Bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence, and then RSI sell signal, and it's breaking down now, right? So it's breaking down on the daily chart. There's no sell signal yet, but there is bearish divergence. When, and then a candle close below the trending dots, upper trend line, after bearish divergence, after price went pretty much vertical from this last buy signal, right? 52% move in a matter of 1 month, right? 52% move in 1 month. Bearish divergence, overbought for almost the entire month that it was pumping up with the candle close back below. When would be a good time to take profits, right? That's a question you have to ask yourself. If you're not sure what your entries, exits, stop losses, your break in case of emergency, I'm getting out of my trade, reasons why I'm taking profits, I'm locking in. If you don't know the answer to all that, you probably want to do a deeper dive and jump into the recorded coaching. There's over 60 plus hours of recorded coaching. We don't pull any punches. We put in all the work in 2022. None of the strategy has changed since then. So we've incorporated these indicators into the strategy. The indicators were built off of the strategy. So we didn't build the strategy off the indicators. We built the indicator off of the strategy that I've been using, pretty much the same strategy for over 5 years, right? So, I've been adding to it over 5 years, but the same overall basics is there for the last 5 years. And of course, continue to get it dialed in and get it better and better over time, right? So, but we have over 60 plus hours recorded coaching. If you had taken an entry based off of this buy signal, based off of bearish divergence, you take profit, or it's overbought, and then you get a candle close below. Even if you went from like buy signal to candle close below, that's 41%. So you just have to decide what your plan of attack is. But that's NVIDIA. I wasn't in a NVIDIA trade personally. Meta down 1%. Could have come back down and fill this gap, possibly. Still holding on by the trending dots. Probably bearish divergence. It was overbought. Yep, bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence. Pending RSI sell signal. Could see a sell signal in the near future. Amazon, bearish divergence, lower high. See if it puts in another lower high. Could be getting rejected from the trending dots. Microsoft down almost 1%. Pending sell signal. Closing in on shorter term target 1 to the downside. Bearish divergence, reversal candle, possible. You get the point. You get the point. You get the point. Tesla, it's been going through a correction. We talked about bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence, RSI buy signal, right? Possible higher low over here. And we will see. We will see if that's going to be a higher low or not. We've been talking about it, been covering it. Remember, cautions were the weekly chart is still ultra bearish. Not ultra bearish. I'm sorry. The weekly chart is still bearish. The daily chart is still currently bearish, but we are starting to see signs of a reversal on the lower time frame, the daily chart. You can see the bullish divergence. You see a possible higher low, and then we will see if it finds support here, puts in another higher low. You kind of draw this trend line out like this. That's kind of your line in the sand. If you're if you're guessing this is the bottom back here with divergence, right, without waiting for a higher low, you know, then this would be kind of your line in the sand to the upside, right? So that's what I mean. Like, have your in case and break of emergency. If you start getting candle closes back below, that might not be a higher low, right? So still not confirmed. But this price took out this pivot over here, so it seems like it's going to be a higher low, higher high. Seems like it'll put in another higher low, and then maybe you start to see a buy signal after that. So that's Tesla, but it's currently down 0.5% today. Apple flat overall. It was pumping up earlier in the day. It was pumping up to almost 183, but looks like it got rejected and could be coming back down, right? Still bearish on the daily chart. I think there's there was a sell signal on the weekly chart, still below this upward trend line. So not looking great for Apple. Could come back down. Who knows if it takes out this pivot point here? Like I said, I haven't been trading it. It's basically been going sideways since June 2023, right? Give or take some pumps here and there, but it's the exact same price as it was June 2023. So, like I said, it's not something that I've been personally trading. Google, this is a weekly chart, still currently bullish, but on the daily chart, you can see it was getting overbought. Overbought over there, and then you got a lower high, and then has it taken out? Yeah, it did take out that pivot. No, it did not take that. I don't know. I'd have to zoom in on it, right? I'd have to zoom in on it. Let's see. This candle closed there. Probably have to zoom on it more, but really it hasn't taken out this pivot point yet here. It's so close, right? Maybe it did slightly, but possible lower high, possible lower low in the future, but could be pumping back up, put in another lower high. So still bearish on the daily chart over there. Let's see what else. 27 minutes in. Anything else? Kind of. Let's see. Let's look at some of these Bitcoin mining stocks. Right. Hut came up, hit 2 of the 4 targets. Has a pending sell signal. Will it find support? Put it in a higher low? It's possible, but there is a pending sell signal on Hut, down almost 7% today. Hive, right, pumped all the way up to about 417 today. Will it come back down to the trending dots similar to Hut? Will it put in a pending sell signal, especially while Bitcoin is down almost 2% today, right? MIGI, right? Did it find a low? You know, a higher probability of a trend reversal on MIGI is you got the arrow out over here, right? Bitfarm down almost 8%. Again, we were talking about getting overbought, reversal candle, engulfing candle yesterday. We were talking about that, right? We covered it. CLSK, engulfing bearish candle, right? Was getting overbought. They're all looking very similar. We already covered this yesterday. Reverse candle, bearish engulfing candle, all that stuff. Getting back below the trending dots today. Riot down 3.4%. Back below the 200-week moving average. Again, bearish engulfing candle, reversal candle. We gonna make it? Same thing. We talked about it yesterday. Will they find support? Will they put in a higher low? It's possible, but they're bearish as of right now. Or they're down today, but no sell signals. Hut was the only one with a pending sell signal, but Cypher Mining also has a pending sell signal back below the trending dots. So are they kind of leading the way? Natural gas, we were talking about yesterday, is the bottom in. Someone pointed out, is Javier. Good morning. Welcome back, Javier. Good to see you back. Is natural gas bottom in? It's possible, right? It is possible. It was getting oversold. It was ultra bearish. And then yesterday, it was up like 7%, I think, from that low, up about 12%. And then another move from wick to wick, or from the bottom wick up like another 7%, right? I know it says 11.68%, but if you just measuring the candles out. So we will see if you get a daily candle close back above this downward trend line, back above the trending dots. Again, you want a higher probability is waiting for a higher low. So it could pump up, dump all the way back down, put in a higher low, and then start to make its move back out again. That would be the higher probability. If you look at the weekly chart, it's still bearish on the weekly chart. So again, a higher probability is that higher low. Could pump up, let the trending dots kind of catch up like that, right? Kind of takes some time for the trending dots to kind of move out, fills this gap over here, dumps all the way back down, puts in a higher low, right? Puts in a higher low, and that will be your higher probability. So could take some time to play out. It's still bearish on the weekly chart. The daily chart is still currently bearish, but doesn't mean you couldn't play that to the upside. Even the 4-hour chart had a buy signal, right? So if you're playing the futures, if you're trading the futures on a lower time frame, you can see that you had this bullish divergence, most likely. Yep, bullish divergence. Price is oversold. And then you can see where it's starting to reverse back around. Then you had that buy signal on the 4-hour chart, and now it's ultra bullish on the 4-hour chart. So you could have played it to the upside based off of the 4-hour chart. It's higher risk, but it's high reward as well. Like 10% multiplied by leverage, that would be with futures. That's going to be 100% return already in a matter of call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-hour candles. So just want to kind of point that out. Now for the market manipulation, Teladoc down 25%, right? Down 25%. But there was a warning shot yesterday, right? There was a warning shot yesterday, and the warning shot was, 2 days ago. Was this a lower high? Possibly, right? And then based off of RSI, it was looking like the warning shot was yesterday. And then you also have earnings yesterday. And even though the earnings were a positive surprise, we've seen this time and time again where the market makers will push it down overnight, even though the earnings was a positive 23% surprise, right? RSI was telling us, hey, there's a possible warning shot to the downside. And then, of course, they gap it down, where they gapped it down like 20% overnight, right? Gapped it down probably about 20%, pumped back up, and now it's down 25%, right? We've seen this play out before. Market manipulation. This is why I don't go all in on stocks. This is why I don't go all in on options. I don't do that because if you're not watching this very closely and you don't take that warning shot as a reason to get out, right, then you could be down 25% overnight. And then you're wondering why it happened. Well, why it happened is for whatever reason, they push it down overnight, and then they wipe out. Maybe there's a bunch of option plays on Teladoc, and they wipe it all out. Take some time for it to kind of gain momentum back up, and then by then the options expire, right? It's an options, it's high leverage game out there, and we're just living in it, right? So you just got to be aware of all that. Overall, the weekly chart, right? Another thing we talked about was, not confirmed that a higher low is in. It was starting to look like a possible higher low is in. There was even a buy signal. And then here we are. The weekly chart hasn't closed yet, right? But if it does, that would be additional bullish divergence, possibly again, right? So until the higher low is confirmed, right, it's never a guarantee. But there was a warning shot yesterday with RSI closing down. I'm not going to show you what I talked about in the Discord, but it's I'm going to leave that for the Discord. But there was a warning shot yesterday with a breakdown on RSI. So with that, that's Teladoc. You can just see it's red today when the Nasdaq's down. High risk assets, regular assets, tech stocks, AI stocks, most likely. Crypto is all down as well, right? And then you've got a couple of one-off scenarios where BNB is up 4%, right? So that's why we still trade the chart in front of us. So whatever you're trading or investing in, trade that chart first and foremost, and be dialed in and locked into that chart, right? With an awareness of everything else that's going on, possible leading indicators, all that stuff. So with that, not much else to really report. I'm not seeing too many requests over here. We can call it here at 35 minutes. Let's see. Let's go back up to Bitcoin. Down 2% today, right? Down 2%. No sell signal on the daily chart. You have to go back down the 4-hour chart. The sell signal. I don't even think there's a sell signal on the 8-hour chart. Yeah. So that's Bitcoin down over almost 2%. And crypto, of course, is going to be down bigger. They move faster to the upside and they move faster to the downside. And even the NASDAQ, being down almost 1% with that pending sell signal right now, right? So, could be a bigger correction coming. We don't know, but we're going to see how the NASDAQ does. If it finds support, obviously with the higher time frame still bullish, we're expecting prices to find support. And if it doesn't, we'll start changing our mind. If it doesn't find support at target 4, right, then we will change our minds that a bigger correction could be coming after that. Until then, it's a possible buy the dip scenario, right? Possible buy the dip scenario until proven otherwise. And if you start getting daily candle closes below the 4th target, say about 15,400-ish, then could be Houston, we have a problem, right? So with that, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for smashing the like button. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all of your support. I appreciate you. We'll continue to sniper the markets together, and we will see you on tomorrow and the next day after that. So with that, we will talk to you later.